We're going to just start off by just rolling the shoulders, so like a really simple shoulder roll. This is just because I don't know, we might have been doing a little bit of work this morning, we've sat down, we've had breakfast, just want to kind of completely loosen up and kind of get our bodies ready to start working. So start moving the wrists around, shaking out the legs, and then yeah, right, we're ready. So let's go down into an all fours position. So I like to actually curl my toes under, so I don't like them having them flat on the floor, and that's just because you get a little bit of a calf engage. Hands on the floor. It's really important that the wrist is stacked underneath the shoulder, and then what we're going to do from here is just a simple dog bird exercise. So I'm going to be alternate legs and arms just as a quick warm up. So head and neck nice and long, looking down. We're going to stretch out our left arm and our right leg, so we're in a completely horizontal position. Don't hyperextend the leg so you come into your back, and then back down onto the floor. And then take the right arm and the left leg up and do exactly the same. So this is just a really nice exercise to start warming up, and come back down, switch sides, just to start getting all of the muscles engaged and activated. So onto the right side now, 4, left arm 5, back down, right arm 6. We're going to do 10 of these, 7. So try and get a bit of a squeeze with your glute when you're doing it, 8. Making sure that that stomach is sucked up, supporting your spine, 9. Keeping the neck long, 10. Now we're going to move into the same sort of motion with our arms, but just add a little bit of a crunch in. So what we're going to do is, when we bring our arm and our leg in, just almost meet elbow to knee, so I can feel a little bit of a crunch. So let's start off again with the left arm and right leg. So extend out, and then bring elbow to knee, crunch in, squeeze. And then we're going to go straight back out, same arm, same leg. Crunch in for 4, out. In for 5, really squeeze, out. 6. When we go out, flex that foot so you're touching the wall behind you. In again, 6, out. 7, 8, out again. 9, really reach out both ways, and in for 10. Hand and knee back down on the floor. Now we're going to switch over to right arm and left leg. So stretch out as far as we can, flex that left foot. Elbow to knee, crunch in. Extend out again for 1. Crunch in for 2, 3. And again 4. Don't put all that leg through that knee, keep some in the arm. 5. Stretch out. In for 6. 7, squeeze. And again 8. 9. Last one. 10. Awesome. So that should be a really nice exercise where you've just got everything loosened up. So straight into exercise number 2, which is twists. I did this earlier in the week on a video. This is an awesome exercise, great for cycling, because it basically engages your whole body. So it's a twisting motion incorporated with a body weight squat. So this is where, if you've got a small weight, let's use that. If not, use a water bottle, a medicine ball, anything you like. So I'll go through the motions first, and then we're going to do 10 of these. So if I do it from the side, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So feet are shoulder width apart. I'm going to come down into a squat and push my hands out, and then I'm literally going to twist round to one side, looking the side that I'm twisting, coming back to the centre, and then twisting round to the opposite side. Now it's absolutely key that when I do this, my knees and my hips are staying central. So that's what I want you to think about. I don't want you to have any flexible knees, because that is what's going to help keep the tension in your core and then make us really solid when on the bike. So let's go for it. So weight in the hands, squat down, twist around to the left, look left, keep the tension in your core, come to the middle. Take a breather, round to the right, look right, back to the centre and up. That's 1. Down for 2. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, round to the left, into the centre, round to the right. That's 2, and come up. If you want to make it even harder for your legs, we can go deeper with the squat. So let's go deeper for 3. Twist round to the left, into the centre, twist round to the right, centre, back up. Down again for 4. Keeping those knees forward, twisting round to the left, to the centre, now to the right. That's 5. That's halfway through. Well done everyone, keep going. Down, twist round to the left, twist round to the right, then up again. Down again for 6, round to the left, round to the right. Really squeeze your core, and then up for 7, down again, round to the left, centre, right, centre, up. That's 8, down again, left, centre, right, centre, 9, and last one, let's make it best, go extra deep, round to the left, squeezing, round to the right, into the centre, done. So hopefully that's given your legs a little bit of a wake up. It's not as difficult as those low cadence strength sessions that we do. I know you're all capable of doing much more. Obviously you can add weight on if you want to get it more difficult. We'll just have a little breather, have a drink. Good. That's got me slightly out of breath. Apologies if my counting is off, by the way. I'm not used to trying to count and look at a screen and do the exercises, but hey ho. Next one I want you to do is an exercise that I first developed when I was mountain biking. So this is really good for improving your out of the saddle riding. So whether you're on a road bike or a mountain bike, you actually get a lot of that movement from your upper body. Obviously you're dropping your weight into each pedal stroke, but you're also using your upper body as well. So there's a lot of power that we can actually generate from our core, from our lats, and from our shoulders really. So this exercise is perfect for doing all of those. And it starts off in a plank position, and then I want you to take a water bottle that you've got and place it near your left hand. So for this plank, I want us to have a slightly narrower hands than normal. And that's simply because we're going to be actually doing a lot of things with one hand. So if I just describe to you what I want to do first, is imagine these hands are up on the floor. I'm going to place the water bottle, go onto a one-handed plank, move the water bottle underneath my chest, then put my hand back, and then I'm basically going to swap and alternate. So let's give that a go. Doesn't have to be perfect the first time. I'm probably going to be wobbly. It's been a while since I've done this, but let's give it a go. So hands directly under your shoulders, no wider. Come up into a plank position, nice and low. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the TVA, your transverse abdominals, head down. Lift up your right hand, pick up the water bottle, take it underneath you, place it next to your right hand. Pick up your left hand, underneath, transfer the water bottle through, place it next to your left hand. And then we just keep repeating. So right hand, move the water bottle through. Left hand, move the water bottle through. Now, you can obviously speed this up to get a bit more of a cardiovascular workout. But the important thing is really trying to keep your back as straight as possible. You don't want to be dipping down. You don't want to be coming into your shoulders. You just want to be keeping the pressure on, moving that water bottle through. So everyone keep doing that. Really great. I'm just having a look at everyone. Awesome. Well done, Robin. Awesome, Leandro. Try and keep that back really straight. Keep as little movement as possible. Awesome, Michelle. Well done. Yeah, you've all got it. And now take a little rest. We'll come down onto a knee. Does that make sense to everyone? You all look like you got it absolutely perfectly. So well done. Hopefully you should really feel it in your core. These all exercises are so unique in the fact that we can just do them and they might feel quite easy, but if we want to make them really hard, then we just tense the muscles that we're using, and by tensing them and engaging them, you're really putting a lot of force through them, so you kind of make them harder without adding any more reps, any more weights, just by kind of engaging those muscles even more. So let's go back into that and do that again. We'll do another 20 each side and I'll count you through. So back into our plank position, hands supporting you. Okay, tense up the glutes, tense up the TVA, and right hand through, pick up the bottle and down. Left hand through, that's 1. Right hand through, 2. Left hand, and then 3. Left hand, and then right hand 4. Left hand 4. Right hand 5. Left 5. This is really going to start to burn now. This is good. Keep going, everyone. Keeping that back as straight as possible. As little lateral movement as you can get away with. This is all about power control. I make that 10. Come on, keep going. Halfway through. Everyone, go, go, go. And 5 reps to go. That's what I'm counting. Voice is really burning. 3, 2, last one. Oh, well done. Awesome effort, everyone. You should really feel that in your TVAs. If you're not, you've got much stronger TVA than I have, which is awesome. But keep doing them because it's such a good exercise. Have a little drink on the water bottle if you need it. Right, now we're going to go into a really subtle exercise for your back. Now, some of you will be familiar with the snow angels because it's included in the CINCH activation exercises. This is slightly different in the fact that I actually don't want any movement in your legs. So let me just quickly explain this next exercise. We're going to be lying on our fronts, and I want us to raise our torso slightly off the ground. So imagine you've got a hinge that goes through your hips, and you're literally going to be hinging that top body off up of the mat. And at the same time, put the back of your hand into the small of your back. And then we're going to lift the arms off in an angel shape and move around to touch your ears with our fingers. So the shape I want you to make when you're lying down, back of the hands, small of the back, up round, hands or fingers on ears. And we're going to do all of that whilst we're raised off the ground. If you need to come down in between reps and have a rest, that's fine, but we're going to aim to do 2 sets of 10 just of those snow angels. So let's give that a go. So lying down, hands in the small of your back, looking down, don't want to overextend your neck or anything, and then lift your front body up. You'll feel it in the small of your back, no doubt. And then suck your stomach in to support your back. That's really, really crucial. And then start to do that angel movement. So fingers on ears, back down, that's 1, up again, 2, keep looking down to keep that neck in line, 3, 4, keep squeezing glutes, keep squeezing stomach, 5. If you need to come down at any point, do that, just have a rest and then come back up again, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10, and come back down for a breather. We'll just take a couple of seconds here and then we'll go again. So, key things to remember on this one. We're generating the power from our glutes and our abdominal muscles. So, really key to squeeze both of those whilst we're doing it. We don't want to put too much strain into the back. This is about gently strengthening it. So, hinge at the waist, come up, back of the hands and the small of the back, angel, round, fingers on ears. That's 1. Let's go again, 2, 3, 4, keep squeezing, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, keep squeezing, 10, come down, then let everything go. It's like a really nasty little subtle exercise that is actually really powerful. So I, as a lot of you know, have had a lot of problems with my back. So treating a back issue is like a fine line between making sure we're stretching all of our big lower muscles, especially in the posterior chain, but also adding a bit of strength into your back. Because what can happen is when we're careful about protecting the back, we don't actually work the back, and therefore it can get a little bit weak and generally it just can't support your body. So although a lot of the support of the back comes from your glutes, from your piriformis, from your hamstrings, from your lats, we also need to strengthen that QL and some of those back muscles, so that's a perfect one to do. You don't need to do too many reps. The last thing we want to do is kind of compromise your back in any way. So well done for doing that. Now we're going to move on to another of my favourite exercises. I think it's dead bugs or bugs. Michelle, I know I've sent this to you already, so you should be a superstar at this one. So it's a really kind of popular Pilates move, and I'm going to talk you through a number of steps because there's lots and lots of adaptations you can do. So whatever level you feel you're comfortable with, just stay on that for the entirety of kind of the session. Obviously push yourself and take it to that next level, but the aim of this exercise is that we're doing a number of reps. It's not like a 5 max rep sort of exercise. So we're going to come onto our back, so all the way down. It's really important that our head and neck are on the ground, fully supported, not overextended. The small of your back needs to be really pushed down into the ground. So I want you to imagine that there's a piece of paper in that hollow in your back. It's a really, really windy day, and you don't want that piece of paper going anywhere, so you want to squash it down into the mat as much as possible. And with it, also squeeze your abs. So, you know, if someone tries to punch you, well, hopefully this doesn't happen all the time, but if someone's trying to punch you in the abs, you tense them because you're bracing for it. So I want you to do that the whole time we're doing this exercise. And I want you to take initially one leg up into a 90-degree angle, it's really important that the knee is stacked directly over the hip. You don't want it any closer to you, you don't want it any further away. And we've got a lovely 90-degree angle from your foot to your knee. And then you're going to place that back down on the floor and you're going to pick the next leg up. This is level 1. So the idea is that you can do this exercise, you know, pretty much all day long. We definitely want to be able to do at least 20, 30, 40 reps. So if that's too easy, let's move on to level 2, which is very much a flowing motion between what we're doing. So as one leg goes down, the other one comes up. So they're changing midway up. And this is a very slow change. It's not quick. Making sure that knee is stacked directly above the hip and those legs are kept in a 90-degree angle. So if you guys just keep doing that, I'm just going to check we're all doing that correctly. Yep, looks awesome. Perfect, Leandro. Nice one, Kaylee. Nice one, Sarah. Great, Robin. Michelle, I can get your feet. Okay, so now what you want to do is straighten one leg. So let's come back up into both legs up in your 90-degree angle, and then we're going to straighten one leg and push it out away from us so it's nice and straight, tracking very close to the floor. Head still down, still looking up, don't look down at your feet. Bring it back up and then straighten the next leg out in front of you. Try and push that wall closest to your feet, bring it back up. And then you want to just keep doing this. We'll do a few reps of this. If this feels too hard, just go back to the bicycle chains, which was the exercise we were doing before. If you want to take this up the next level, let's add the arms in. So let's come back to knees. Center again, both knees up in the air. And I want you to put your arms either side of your knee. And as you push out one leg, both of your arms go over your head. And then as you bring that knee back up, your arms come back up to meet it. And switch again. So right knee down, arms over, back up. Left leg down, arms over your head and back. And this is a really great exercise. You should feel it all in your transverse abdominals. You should feel it in your lats. Keep squeezing. David, don't let those heels drop. 90-degree angle in those legs. Perfect, Leandro, really, really strong. Robin, awesome, well done. Now, if you want to make this even harder, we can do both legs at once. So push both legs out. If you're going to try this, it's absolutely crucial that you squeeze your abs as hard as you can. Well done, Robin, that's perfect. Awesome, nice one, Michelle. David, Kaylee, going to give that one a go? Go on, I know you can. Awesome. Right, so let's do 20 of these from now. Let's really push it. I'll do them with you. Whatever stage you've got to. Perfect, let's go for it. Right, so 1, back up. 2, back up. 3, keep squeezing everything. Back up. And that's 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, nice controlled movements. 10, really squeezing all your abs. This is going to be working your hip flexors as well, which is perfect for out of the saddle, so that high cadence out the saddle that we all hate. This is perfect. So we've got 5 to go. 4, don't lose quality, keep squeezing that back. 3, 2, 1. Awesome, guys, have a lovely stretch. Stretch out on your mat. Oh, and then bring your knees in to hug your chest. Really, really great. Right, now we're going to go quickly into another ab exercise that I love. So we're gonna put our feet up as though we're trying to touch the ceiling. You can cross your legs if you want, just gives you a bit more stability. If not, straight legs up to the ceiling, and we're gonna slowly pulse our fingers to try and touch our toes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Well done, everyone. I hope that these are working. If you're like me, you need a little bit of a drink. So take a drink, have a rest. Hopefully the TVAs are all firing up. And again, I think I said in my video the other day, the idea with these core and this strength session is not that we're going to completely hammer the body. The aim is not that you can't get on your bike tomorrow and that you can't get on your bike on Sunday. It's something to do that's going to be 15-20 minutes that you can do 2 or 3 times a week, and over time add in different exercises which will challenge you constantly. So if you don't feel it now, don't think this has been a waste of time. You know, it's just about doing little and often. So did everyone bring a pair of socks? Because we're going to need that for the next exercise. It's just a little bit of fun, although it does really work. So Michelle, I think you said to me a couple of weeks ago, we spend all winter on our trainers, we get outside and reaction speeds aren't the best, and there's a few crashes, and keeping us on our toes at the same time as working our core. So I want you all to fold your socks. You know, if you were folding a pair, just fold them into each other so they're kind of like a little ball. And what we're going to do on this exercise is go into a plank position, very similar to the last one in the fact that hands are slightly closer than they would normally be. We're going to take the socks in one hand, just throw them up towards your face and catch them with your next hand. So it's a real challenge with coordination and stability. So everyone just give that a go, and I mean, if you really cannot do it, don't worry. What we'll do is just some plank shoulder taps, which you can do, but this is just a really fun exercise. That I didn't ask you to bring a ball, because if a ball bounces, it flies off, so that's why we've got socks. And this is a real challenge, like mentally and for coordination. Well done, Sarah. Awesome, I saw that. Well done. Nice one, Robin. So it's a really great exercise. It seems a bit silly, but actually it's teaching us stability in the plank. So the back is straight, the bottom's not moving too much from side to side. We're working on our coordination. We've got all that strength, all that tension in our TVA, in our glutes, in our quads, and we're working on coordination, using that brain, using the mind. Love it. Brilliant, really great. Anytime you need to have a rest, just come back down, rest on your knees. Let's do it all together now, and we'll do it for time. So, into your plank position, wrists under your shoulders, fire up the glutes, fire up the abs, and then lift up the socks, throw them up, and catch. It's surprising how much you actually have to throw the socks in the air. Throw them almost directly right at your head to get this. I'm no expert, so don't think I'm just throwing it backwards and forwards. I'm really not, especially whilst I'm trying to talk. But anyway, that's a really cool bit of fun. Hopefully that's been a little good challenge. What we'll do is, if we do these sessions over and over again, we can start to add things in, like we'll put our feet on a Bosu whilst we're doing that, or one hand will be on a Bosu, and so you're really starting to challenge all those small muscles in all of the body to become engaged at the same time as switching your mind on, which especially for riding outside is really, really important. So we've done a lot of work in planks, done a lot of work on TVA. The last exercise I want you to do is a good old glute bridge. So this is going to work all our posterior chain. Kind of a nice one to finish on, really. So the brief from the bosses was, don't tire everyone out for the Roubaix simulation on Sunday. So we'll end with a nice glute bridge, and you can all say that you had a lie down at the end of the class. So back down into the same position we were for the bugs. Doesn't really matter about your heels being close to your bottom. So in yoga, I know they say make sure you can touch your heels with your hands, but actually we want our legs slightly further away, because the further away our legs are from our glutes, the more we work our hamstring. So first one we're going to do is level 1, and we're just going to come up into a glute bridge by squeezing the glutes and slowly lifting the spine off up the floor, one vertebra at a time. Now it's key that you stop when your hips are in line with your knees. Don't come up as high as you can. We don't want to hyperextend into the back. We just want to keep squeezing as much as possible, hands firmly planted on the floor. And then slowly, I want you to lift up your right leg, keeping that 90 degrees that you've already got in it, squeezing that left glute, keeping everything supported, and then slowly place that right leg back down on the floor. Then we'll switch, lift up that left leg, back down on the floor, and then we'll roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. Stage 2, if you found that really simple, I want you to have your hands in a prayer position, elbows off the floor, like you're saying a namaste at the end of the yoga session. And we'll do exactly the same again. So squeeze the core, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips off the ground one vertebrae at a time. Really concentrate, squeeze the glutes, fire it up, lift up that right leg, 90 degrees, keep it there for a couple of seconds, and then lower it back down. Remember, the further away the feet are from the glutes, the more you're going to feel that in your hamstrings. Lift up your left leg, squeeze, 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 squeeze. If you can't feel it in your hamstrings, you need to move your feet a little bit further away from your glutes. Left leg back down, roll your spine down one at a time. If that's too easy, let's add the arms in. So as we come up, the arms are going to go over your head. So squeeze up, arms right over your head. Have them hovering above the ground, and then again lift up that right leg 90 degrees. You should feel it in your left hamstring. Place that back down on the floor, arms are still hovering above. Squeeze the left, lift the left leg up, and then back down. Squeeze the glutes, roll the spine down. Now everyone's different. Some people will find that a very easy exercise. If you do, when you're doing that, we can just come up onto our toes and we can do more with our legs. So I'll just show you that now so you've got something to do at home. So let's assume arms are going over your head. Let's squeeze everything up. Come up into your glute bridge. Now we're going to come up onto your toes on both legs. And then we're going to lift up the right leg 90 degrees, then straighten it out so it's at the same trajectory as your left leg, and then lower it down to the floor, almost touch that right heel and lift it back up so it's in line with your left leg, and then down again, and then back up, bend that right knee, and then down on the floor, feet down, and then roll out of the glute bridge. We'll just do one on the other side just to even it out. So arms up over the head, squeeze the glutes, spine coming off the floor one vertebrae at a time. Don't come into your back, squeeze the glutes, lift the left leg up 90 degrees, then straighten it out 45 degrees. So both legs are following the same trajectory. Lower that left leg down, almost touched your heel. Come back up, and then down again. Now I can't remember if we did 2 or 3 on the right side, so we're just going to go for 3. So down again, back up. Keep squeezing that right hand side, that's what's going to be supporting you. Bend your left leg, back down on the ground, and then roll the spine down, arms coming over. So now bring your knees in, give your spine a bit of a hug, rock from side to side. Just give yourself a nice stretch. So again, a really subtle exercise. What you'll notice with a lot of these things is you can use them as either an activation exercise or a strength exercise. So activation exercises, you'd probably go to stage 1 or stage 2 from what I've shown you, and you keep the reps really low. Strength exercise, you can still do a high number of reps, but you probably just make the exercise a lot harder. So you can really work on that control. Just before we go, I'm going to show you one more exercise which you can use your weight for, or water bottle. So I love using a water bottle as a weight because everyone's got one. And this is a really nice one I came up with when I was mountain biking. And for a lot of you that are into gravel as well, this is a really useful exercise for being on your gravel bike. So unlike a road bike, you are sometimes descending out of the saddle and supporting all of your weight on both pedals. So I came up with this exercise, and if I come a bit closer, you can see where your legs are in exactly that same position they're going to be when you're descending. So imagine your pedals are both horizontal, and you're going to do a slight lunge. So this back leg, the foot's going to come off the floor slightly. You're just going to support your weight in your legs, and then you're going to literally lean from one side to the other. So if I then go forward, basically you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So you're taking all that strain in your legs, and then you're literally going from one side to the other. And the idea is that you don't move your hips and you don't move your legs. They're not going anywhere. So it's exactly the same as if you're descending out of the saddle and you're bouncing all over the show, and your core is just what's holding everything together. So we'll just very quickly, I'm conscious of time, let's just do 5 on each side. So if you've got a water bottle or a weight, let's put it in our right hand. So that means we're going to have left foot forward to begin with. And the distance I'd say is only about 2 feet, so it doesn't have to be as wide as a lunge. Just make sure that that front knee doesn't go over your toes. You're coming halfway into a lunge, bending that back leg, and then we're going to go down onto the right hand side. So the same side you've got your weight in, we're just going to lean over, making sure your legs are not going anywhere, all your core and hips are secure. Down for 2. Well done, that's awesome, Michelle. Really strong. 3, 4, 5. Now that's a nice one because it gives you a little bit of opportunity to build some mobility into that QL as well. Michelle, I know you're like me, they get really tight. So let's move on to the right leg. So that's right foot tracking forward, left heel off the ground. Let's sink into that. Weight a water bottle into the left hand, and then we're gonna slowly try and put that water bottle on the floor, not leaning forwards or backwards, coming back up. Hips are still tracking forward, you're not moving at all. That is super solid, super steady. Well done, David. Go a little bit further if you can. You just got 2 to go. Your aim would be to see if you could drop the water bottle nicely onto the floor. And then obviously the more weight you add, the more you're going to feel that in your obliques and your lats. So that's going to work your quads, it's going to work your lats, your TVAs, together we've pretty much had a whole core workout just in what, 20-25 minutes. So let's have a bit of a chill out now. Let's just sit cross-legged. Just want to have a bit of a stretch. So if you can't sit cross-legged for whatever reason, next time you need to do that, just get a couple of books or DVDs and sit on that. If not, put your legs out in full, straight out in front of you, and try not to take too much weight in your back. So we want to start opening up the glutes, opening up the hips, and then slowly just oscillate a movement from side to side, so having a nice stretch. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You want to take your hands up into the air and in the midway, and then lean one over and touch the floor. A really nice movement. Starting to stretch out that QL, stretch out your back. You might want to move forward, do a bit of a forward fold, track your fingers around in front of you from side to side. Doesn't really matter. Or just have a good stretch. That's what we want. Now if your legs are still crossed, let's push them out in front of us. I like to have a slight bend in my knees so we can really get a good hamstring stretch. Arms up in the air, hinge at the waist, fold forwards. It's not a competition about who can touch their toes, just go to wherever you feel the stretch. This is a hamstring stretch. Don't straighten your legs enough that it's in your calves, keep it in your hamstrings. And just hold it there. The hamstrings are quite a big muscle, so we can afford to hold this stretch a little longer than we were previously. Whatever feels nice. And then we're going to come up onto your feet into a low lunge. So that's knee on the floor, and then a leg forward. I've started off with my right leg. And then we're just going to do a bit of a lunge, stretch out the hip flexor. So that got a lot of work when we were doing the dead bugs exercise. So then come back up into the center, and then move your weight forward again into the hip flexor. Feel a nice stretch. And then swap legs. Making sure that that front knee doesn't go over the front toe. Stretch into the hip flexor, and then back up again, down into the hip flexor. You probably feel it in your quads as well. And back up, and then slowly coming up into a standing position, just rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Hands on. Reaching up into the air. You can even clasp your fingers, do a bit of a stretch up, lean from side to side, stretch out that QL again, those lats, those obliques, transverse abdominals, roll your shoulders a bit, clasp your hands behind, and then push out away from your shoulders. Give those a good stretch. They had a bit of a beating in those planks, and then give it a bit of a roll. And that's it. Well done, guys. Thank you very much. You all did brilliantly. Well done.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it. Has anyone got any questions about any of the exercises, or how to make them either easier or harder, or I don't know if anyone...
Thanks, Sophie. I gotta go. Thank you.
All right. See you soon.
That was really good, Sophie.
Could you post a list of the exercises, Sophie?
Absolutely. Actually, I've recorded me doing this session, so we'll edit it down and then I'll post it on YouTube, and then I can put it on the app as well, so you can do it later. But if everyone really enjoyed it, we could make it more of a regular thing. And you also let me know what equipment you've got, so I can then, you know, because like some of you might have Bosu balls, others might have weights. I didn't know what everyone had, so obviously we were fairly limited in terms of exercises, but you know, we can make this as personal as we need to for the next one. So let me know, either on text or on the app, you know, what exercises you'd like to do again, which ones you found hardest, or what equipment you've got, and I can come up with some stuff.
That sounds great.
That was
Awesome.
great, yeah. I really enjoyed it.
You all did so well. I'm so impressed.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you, Sophie.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
See you, David.
Bye.
Bye. When I first started
Bye.
doing all these exercises, honestly, my core was so weak. I was rubbish. You guys are all so much stronger than you realise. You've got a really good platform to build on. So I think if we can get some consistency in mixing it up and doing some different things, like, you're really going to see a huge benefit in your riding, because what you'll find is all that power that you're producing is being directly transferred into your legs. So not many people know, but if you find climbing out the saddle hard, you know, it could be a problem with your hip flexors. You know, they're not strong enough, or your QL in your back is not strong enough, so you're losing all this power. Or seated power flats. Yes, a lot of it comes from your legs, but you know, you're connected to your seat by your core, so let's make that really strong. And you know, for those of you that ride on the gravel and mountain bike, you know, this stuff is key. You know, Tom's workouts obviously are awesome for our leg strength, but this is equally important for not getting injured, for being able to cope with rough terrain, you know, all the stuff that gets thrown at us when we're riding off-road. So I'm a huge believer in it, and I know, you know, if we just keep doing it little and often, then you'll see huge improvement. So well done, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was great. I would love it if you did.
Yeah, thank you, Sophie.
Okay.
Yeah, I would too.
Awesome. Well, let's just
Absolutely.
do it. Let's keep doing it. Sarah, I'm so pleased that you could make it. Sorry it took a while to
Yeah.
let you in on the meeting. I kept pressing accept, and I don't know what was going on. So, but you made it, which is
Who
cool.
knows? I made it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well done, guys. I'm going to shoot off now. But yeah, really well done. And we'll do another one, I don't know, next week or something.
Sounds
Be
good.
great. Thanks.
Awesome. All right. Catch you soon.
Thanks.
See you guys. Bye.